Greetings and salutations everyone. Welcome to, well, a tier list video. Oh my god, a tier list video. It's awful already. But I've been watching the Pokemon anime for a long time now, and this has been bothering me so much that I just decided, you know what, let's make a tier list. And yes, Journeys is included, but this is based on the anime. Yes, the Journeys anime isn't over with, but I already know how I'm wanking it. So why not get started, I guess. So I guess the question is, do I start from my favorite, like do I go from left to right, or do I go, from favorite to least favorite? I'm going to start off with least favorite, to be completely honest. And right now, that's Journeys. Like, where do I begin with it? I just hate it. That's what I'm going to start from. I started watching, thought it was a bit interesting how the first episode starred Lugia as a legendary and sort of set up a goal for the character to go. But the thing is that he's in a school, he's interested in Pokemon, but instead of going on a journey, he's in a school making a phone that's able to find a legendary. Which, it's just strange, but the whole thing is that Ash's goal is to become the world's strongest trainer now. Essentially, he's going through the tournament and climbing ranks and that, which I think is a really stupid idea to begin with. That's just a me thing. And Go is, trying to catch every Pokemon, which he was trying to catch every Pokemon to catch up to Mew, but that pretty much got sidelined instantly. Because now he's just doing a thing. He joined the project just to find Mew, so he didn't even have to catch every Pokemon. So he essentially had an interesting idea of Go. They made him a boring character though, and they realised this and they got rid of him. So, in dead last is Journeys. Yes, it's not finished, but let's face it, the Masters 8 already sucks. Just from the first battle alone, because Ash is actually in the top 8 of the world now, through defeating opponents he never fought before, or really weak opponents. Like he had to fight Iris, which he battled before and travelled with. He fought Corner, which he already beat before. He fought someone who replaced Lieutenant Surge. He fought a guy with a Gallade, lost to the guy with the Gallade, then fought him again. And won through plot armor. And let's talk about his team as well. His team was interesting until Lucario. And before you guys start having a hissy fit and say Lucario's awesome, Lucario's a cool Pokemon, but I actually preferred the team when it didn't have a Lucario. To be completely honest. Like, he gets a Dragonite. Okay, I was hyped for that. That's cool. Ash never had a Dragonite, and it's a pretty cool Pokemon. So I was like, you know what? Cool. He got a Gengar. Instantly, his team was looking brilliant. He got a Surface, which to me was a weird choice, but I was like, you know what? Suits Ash. Then, I think he got Riolu after that from an egg. I'm saying that, like, okay. And he got, Dracovish, which, he's never had a fossil before. So it's kind of cool, but I feel like it's a bit underutilized in his team at the moment. It gives him water type, sure. But I feel like it's just a weird option they had there. It's like they spun a wheel, saw, like, got Dracovish, like, let's give Ash a Dracovish. Because why the hell not? It was a weird choice. I don't hate it. I still put it over Lucario, and let's talk about his Lucario as well. The amount of plot armor it has. As Mega Evolution enters Spirit Bomb. We get it. Lucario is voiced by Goku. And Lucario is indeed a cool Pokemon, but to me, I don't think he should be on Ash's team. Especially when he already has a fighting type. Sure, this like his first steel type. If not, then, it's one of his very few steel types. I don't remember what other steel types he has, if any. But yeah, Jace is just in last place. And the only other anime that's in last place, and is actually tired of it, is Sun and Moon. Before you people start whinging, Ash became a Pokemon champion. Yeah, he became a Pokemon champion through a Battle Royale, where two people ganged up on a Salamence that could have defeated Ash. I think the Battle Royale in Sun and Moon was horrible. I think the humor was awful. I didn't like Ash's team was okay in Sun and Moon, but I just didn't like it personally. It was just boring. He has a Litten, which has a cool backstory. You know, it was raised by a Stoutland, and that Stoutland died, and now it joins Ash, which was a nice episode. Like any emotional episode Sun and Moon has, they have a really, really like good emotional episode. The emotional episodes in Pokemon are brilliant when they're good. You know, they even had the one where Mallow had to deal with the fact that her mother passed away when she was young, which is great. So Farclays had to feign. He had to accept the fact that Pokemon die. Great. But then you have characters like Lily. What do you mean, Lily Lawson? She's scared of Pokemon. She's not scared of Pokemon. She's scared of Pokemon again, like 2 episodes later. It was such backwards logic. And let's not even get started on the humour. Basically, humour is someone says something stupid and everyone makes a funny face. Just a funny face. Which, that's not humour. Pokemon's had better humour before. So to me, I don't think Sun and Moon really should have existed. And honestly, I wish it was part of a different timeline because it came after X and Y, which we'll talk about X and Y later. There won't be an X anime I talk about because it's going to be a last one I wank. Because one of the people love or hate, so I'm going to leave that till last. But when you go from X and Y to Sun and Moon, in terms of humour, battle, and anything, it was just so bad that honestly I wish I could, you know, have my memories of Sun and Moon and Journeys erased from my head. I wish I could go to some sort of doctor, have them move to my head, and then have it say I'd never have to see those animes again because they were bad. They were really bad. And let's talk about an anime people universally hate, Black and White. Well, here's the thing. It's better than Sun and Moon. I don't care what you people say. It's better than Sun and Moon and Journeys. I at least enjoy watching it compared to Journeys and Sun and Moon. I'm not going to praise it. It's still a C rank. It is still a C rank. So I am not going to praise it and say, oh, it's brilliant, but I prefer it over Sun and Moon. Yes, it has some stupid moments like a factory reset, but Ash literally went to Alola because he saw it at school. Something he's seen in every other region. During a visit to school, and Alola has a slide, which he uses in the opening, and that's literally it. You know? So, I'm not going to praise Black and White, but I think it's better than Sun and Moon and Journeys. And if you combine Sun and Moon and Journeys together, Black and White is still better. Just barely, though. But let's talk about... Let's go with Indigo League, which is a tough one. So you can say it's bad because it's the first of the Pokemon series, but it's also the first of the Pokemon series. So it's going to have mistakes. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Literally Journeys and Sun and Moon had to literally Kanto Panda constantly. They had multiple episodes where they brought walk back. But for the Indigo League, I'm going to give it a B. Oh, that's Johto League, sorry. Indigo League. Actually, Indigo League gets an A. For me. I think it does. You see, I don't remember too much of the Indigo League. I remember how Ash lost and how some of his battles went, but of course it was his first journey. You know, it's a good representation of people who first played Pokemon. We all made mistakes when we first played Pokemon, and we all did stupid stuff when we first played Pokemon. Also, yeah, Bye Bye Butterfree and those types of episodes as well, which, you know, is good. But we'll go with... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the Indigo League in B. Yeah, I'll keep it in B, but I'm also going to put Johto League in B. The main reason is that I don't remember pretty much nothing of Johto League other than Ash's team. And I can barely remember it. Like, I know he has Pikachu, he has the 3 starters, Cyndaquil, Chikorita, and Totodile. He has the Shiny Noctowl and Fanpy. That's honestly all that I remember. To me, it's pretty forgettable. not bad. It's just, if you sat me down and said, let's watch the Johto arc, I'll be like, okay, but I probably will not pay that much attention to it. Not bad. It's just the Johto arc. That's all I can really say about it. Let's see. Next up, we'll go with the Sinnoh arc. Honestly, where else would it really go? I at least remember Ash's battles in it. To a degree, they gave Ash his first ever trade Pokemon, I believe, in Weasel, which is cool. And honestly, that's what I kind of want to see again. I want to see Ash trade a Pokemon, but get a trade evolution Pokemon in a future series. We also had Paul, who was a great rival. Like, they brought him back in Journeys, but he was pretty bad in Journeys, to be completely honest. Like, you may as well just replace him with any other character and would have the same effect. But yeah, Ash went all in on the Sinnoh League. He trained really hard and it was great. I don't know really what else to say about it. Like, I don't want to go into a 20-minute rant about why the Sinnoh arc is great. It's not my favourite. Well, not my personal favourite. I'll actually talk about my personal favourite next. But the Sinnoh arc is just good to watch. And here's the thing. In Journeys, in the Sinnoh arc, they made it a whole point to make abilities canon. Stuff like, Motor Drive, Blaze, all that. And even Static, and the Hoenn arc did it as well. But that's why Journeys doesn't last. Ash fought Volcaner in Journeys. And we all know that Volcaner's Electivire has Motor Drive. Ash wins against it with an electric type move, an electric type Z move, and before people say, oh, Z moves ignore abilities, they don't ignore typing, and from what I can tell, they don't ignore abilities. So Ash shouldn't have won against Volcaner. The only thing you can say is there was overcharge of electricity, which is the whole reason Pikachu keeps losing battles, because it gets overcharged. But you don't see Pikachu explode. So that's why James is still in dead last. But Sinnoh arc, at least stayed true to the actual logic that the anime set up. And yeah, that's literally why Sinnoh is in the top, because it actually pays attention to what the fuck it does. But we're gonna talk about my personal favorite Pokemon anime next. There's X and Y or the Hoenn arc. It's the Hoenn arc. It's my personal favorite, but I'm gonna give it an A. Because I'm not going to be super biased. I just like it. I found it enjoyable. I thought contests were handled really well. Which Journeys had to bring back contests as well. Which is stupid. And also brings in the trend of every female protagonist must have an EV. Which is just stupid. It's not a rule for a female protagonist to have an EV. May was the first character to get an EV. And she had it because it was just an interesting idea at the time. And Dawn didn't need an Eevee. And she's a great character. But in Hoenn, Ash knows so much about abilities, type matchups. Yes, it is stupid stuff like the lightning armor. And the whole fact he defeated 3 Reggies with just counter stars. Because let's face it, you have a Squirrel, Bulbasaur and Charizard go up against 3 Reggies. You'd probably send out Charizard first, Regirock would KO it, and then it could take out the other 2. If not, then Registeel would defeat Bulbasaur, and Squirtle with little issue. But the Battle Frontier was also fun. And, yeah. Like, the Hoenn arc is just fun. Sure, Max is annoying, but, usually the annoying characters end up in the best series. Hence why the next ranking is on X and Y and X, Y, Z. But yeah, of course Max is going to be annoying. We were all like Max at one point. We probably knew everything about Pokemon and started flexing our knowledge all over each other. Max is just annoying because he's actually relatable. And it's the same with Bonnie in X and Y. She's relatable. Everyone finds Pokemon adorable and really cool. So, honestly, if anything, they're just a good representation of what actual kids are like when they first play Pokemon. We all saw a Pokemon and be acted one way or another. But enough about the home arc, because I talked about the Battle Frontier being pretty good. And Ash's team was also really powerful, apart from Torkoal, but it was fine. But now we're going to talk about X and Y. If you guys have seen how this list has gone so far, you already know where X and Y is. It's in first place. Isn't much of a surprise. It's so good that Journeys had to retcon it. Literally, they had to get rid of Ash Greninja. They had to make Alon a really weak trainer that gets one shot. And before you guys say, Leon's the world champion. Leon is a weak champion, and let's face it, one shot Alon wasn't the way to go in Journeys. But back to X and Y. Ash had multiple rivals that all had their own unique style of battling. He has Sawyer from Hoenn, who has a really powerful Pokemon and was able to catch up to Ash at one point because Ash was struggling. And he had that whole point where when Ash lost, Ash had to go through this whole depressing phase. Basically, we had to rethink how he acted as a trainer. Think about what he did wrong. But literally, there's that. And then there's the fact that Ash never defeated Alon. And you can't complain that Greninja against Mega Charizard X was a bit stupid. Technically, the Greninja could win. But in the actual game, Greninja's pretty frail, and the Charizard has fought the punch. Ash just had Tiana as a rival, which is pretty good. And it's also apart from Pikachu, the rest of his team evolved to the final stages. But obviously they're not going to evolve Pikachu. Pikachu's the mascot. But this is when Ash was at his peak. And that's why I hate Sun and Moon, because it just did a black and white. Like, clearly, if I was to say what happened now, Ash went through all the work to get to Sinnoh. Then black and white happened. And then, basically, black and white went to X and Y. And then Sun and Moon happened. Literally, Sun and Moon is black and white. The only difference is which one people prefer. But, yeah, that's literally my ranking for just all the Pokemon anime arcs. Based on region, basically. If I had to rank them on, like just X, Y, and X, Y, Z alone, like a separate, the list wouldn't change. I would probably have best wishes in B tier or something. And that would literally be it. That's simply how I view the Pokemon anime, and this to me is how it definitively works. And for people, if you guys are going to complain, then just don't. I'm really going to change my mind. Like, genuinely, I've actually just given up on Journeys. I saw the entirety of Sun and Moon, but I've just given up on it. I'm just waiting until they upload the battle with Leon versus Ash, because let's face it, Ash is going to get to Leon. He's not going to lose to Steve, and he's not going to lose to Cynthia or Iris. They're going to plot armor him to absolute hell. And when Ash does face Leon, I don't care who wins. Well, I actually want Leon to win, but it doesn't matter who wins or loses. Because if Ash does go to a new region, you have to make someone more powerful than Leon. And the whole reason they didn't compete in a world coronation should be, I wasn't interested or I wasn't allowed to. Which means the world coronation was just a load of bollocks that didn't even need to happen in the first place. And if Ash does become the strongest trainer, what else can we expect from him? He'll go to whatever region Scarlet and Violet and probably win the league. There would be absolutely no reason for him to lose. Like, the only thing I could see Journey's doing is Ash beats Leon, becomes world champion, and stays as the Alola champion. And I don't want that. Like, I understand that Pokemon wants to swap in a new protagonist, but they literally have Twilight Wings and Hisuian Snow, and they had the other Pokemon anime as well. They literally have 3 spin-off animes. They could try and make those work. But for some reason they're focusing on game with Ash, for whatever reason. If they wanted to get rid of Ash, they could have just done so in X and Y. They could have just had him win, but they had him lose. yeah, this is pretty much the ranking for me. I'll end this video before I go on a complete tangent. I was going to do a Pokemon quiz, like which Pokemon am I on the way, but I'll not do that. That's probably fake. But I'll see you guys in the next video based on whatever Let's Play I do. See ya.